Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel, The Eradicator here, and in this video we are going to talk about Age of Empires 2, because believe it or not guys, 22 years after its release, this game still has 17,000 players playing right now on Steam, 3,000 viewers on Twitch. This is a healthy game with a very healthy community, and so as a result guys, the developers are still producing content. And yesterday a brand new expansion called Lords of the West was just released, and so today we are going to check out what it is about. You know, it has some campaigns, some new civilizations as well. It's actually very interesting. Now, to get access to the campaigns here, it's very interesting. They've added one more slide. You know, you've got Africa, America, Asia, Europe, where you have the old campaigns, even the ones from the last expansion, the last cans, right? And here you have to go to Western Europe to get access to those campaigns. Richard Longshanks here for the Britons, the Grand Dukes here for Burgundy, which is one of the two new civilizations, and the Hauteville for Normandy, for the Normans. Well, not the Normans, actually, the Sicilians, which is like a branch of the Normans that moved south of Italy. Very interesting choices of civilizations here. Are there really civilizations or nations? Now, maybe we should be changing the words, you know, civilization from nations. That is, of course, another topic from another day. Maybe I'll be covering that at the end of this video. And so let's have a look here at, for example, the Burgundian campaign, which is very interesting. Burgundy was a duchy that rose to prominence in Western Europe throughout the 15th century by the end of the 100 Years' War, as they were trying gradually to move from the status of being a duchy to a kingdom. They had several kinds of territory, more or less what is today's Burgundy in France and Belgium over on the top. So it was like a divided territory here, and this campaign is the attempt that the Dukes of Burgundy were trying to do in order to reunite their territory and become a kingdom of their own, which would have definitely rivaled the kingdom of France.
Every coin that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend. There are many to be found in this market. Lumber and stone was stored in this trade workshop. We will make good use of these resources.
The campaigns and, of course, the voiceovers are completely new over here, which is great. The Burgundians have some kind of weird old French dialect, which is actually true to the actual original Burgundian dialect. So shout out here to the devs for actually maybe going out there to Burgundy and figure out how the old Burgundian French dialect used to be spoken. It is fantastic to be hearing that kind of French dialect as a native French speaker myself. It feels really weird. There are a couple of unique civilizations, bonuses as well as units here for this civilization, and we're talking about first the castle, which is also unique architecture here for the castle. It has a melee cavalry unit, the coutilier or coustilier, depending on whether you're saying it with the new or old French pronunciation, and it's kind of like a long range melee unit. Very interesting, good against melee combat, good against, you know, swordmen, decent against pikemen as well. It also has a very interesting ability, which I think is going to make the Burgundians very popular on maps such as Black Forest, for example, or any map that doesn't have any sea. They're not good at the sea, this is not their specialty, but they have this unique ability which allows them to transform all the food that they have into gold, and with that ability as well, it's called the Burgundian Vineyards. With that ability, they can also allow villagers to gather both food and also gold from the vines, which makes it from the farms, which makes sense because, you know, Burgundy is famous for its wine. It has always been. They've made a lot of money from that, and this is something that transpires in the game. I think that this is very awesome. Now, the next civilization available in this expansion is, of course, Sicily. The Sicilians, which are actually, in this case, Normans, which themselves are actually a mix of French and Vikings, which is why this civilization is also quite interesting. It is a hybrid of the Viking civilization that we already have, and also the Frank civilization. Decent land unit, decent sea units as well, without, of course, the longboats, right? They don't have the Viking longboats, obviously, but nevertheless, they also have some really interesting new units. Actually, one particular new unit, the Sergeant, which is, imagine a Viking Berserk, but with a little bit slower and less HP, but also a little bit cheaper too. Why not? A good compromise, I think. And they also have the tower here, the dungeon, which is, imagine, a mini castle. There are a couple of civilizations like those that do have some kind of mini castle as well. I'm thinking of the Bulgars, for example. They also have that, right? So very practical to have some kind of tower, a little bit more expensive, but for defense or fortification, it is going to be very interesting in multiplayer as well. So it will be interesting to see how this is going to turn out. Overall, I'm very happy that after 22 years, the developers here, Forgotten Studios, are still bringing in some new content for Age of Empires 2. It is phenomenal and probably greatly contributes to the longevity of the title. I personally cannot wait to get my hands on the Burgundians in multiplayer game. I think that especially the ability to grow gold from farms is going to be a significant advantage over civilizations, especially in late game where sometimes gold can be a little bit scarce. I like the idea also of, you know, the tactical idea of having a mini castle that will be, you know, cheaper than an actual castle, so that you could protect certain parts of the map where you have, you know, resources or specific passage or entry points. I like that technical idea as well. There's going to be great strategies online with both of those civilizations. We definitely do add something for on the table, and that is again what is impressive with the developers. They always find new civilizations that do add you know, something extra to the table. Always makes me wonder, you know, what's coming next, you know, because that's at the same point, there's only so much civilization you can add. We're gonna have the Maori, you know, in Oceania, which could be a good idea, right? Maybe Zanzibar in Africa or Oman in the Middle East. There's not much left, right? And the notion of civilization, I'm sure will have to change, right? Because these are more nations. I'm sorry, but the Burgundians are also Franks, right? They were also Franks, whereas the Sicilians here in the games are basically Vikings and Franks altogether. Okay, maybe that one kind of works. I like the idea that old civilizations like the Britons, for example, get a new campaign as well. It will be a great occasion to revisit them because they've mostly been the baddies, right, in the other campaigns. So it will be nice to play them. That's a good change. Also, that's all for this video, guys. A quick review of Age of Empires 2 Lords of the West, which was also very cheap for me. I don't know how much it is for you guys in your country, but where I am, it was basically a little over $5. I live in Taiwan, so a low VAT. And all games are generally cheaper. I don't know why, but yeah, overall a good little add-on with interesting content, both multiplayer and single player for a cheap price. I like that a lot. I highly suggest that you guys get it. I'm not going to give it a mark because I need to play it a little bit more, but overall the feedback is very positive. That's all for this video, guys. If you like this kind of content, you want to see more Age of Empires content or content from other video games, please let me know also in the comments down below. Who knows, maybe I could be producing more content like that, right, if there's a demand. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more content on the channel. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.